This video is all about your first motorcycle. And so I know exactly what you're going through right now. There's a lot of fear. There might be a little bit of anxiety. How are you going to pull out of the parking lot for the first time and ride on your own? Unfortunately, motorcycles are not like cars where you can have an expert sitting on your right side and telling you what to do turn by turn. And so this video is all about mentally preparing you for your first ride home after you buy your first motorcycle. But anyway, getting on your first motorcycle, the first thing that you should be doing, obviously, is to watch a couple of videos on how your motorcycle controls work, okay? We're not going to go through any of that stuff in this video because I have dedicated videos for that. So if you haven't watched some of my previous videos, go take a look at my motorcycle mastery playlist and check out my tutorials on how to ride a motorcycle. But I also have a program called Motorcycle Mastery. It's a 6-hour-long program where you and I deep dive into every single nook and cranny of what it means to ride a motorcycle and how to do it proficiently. Link for that down below as well. But my free videos, they will get you very far. But Motorcycle Mastery is a complete system. It is not just a series of YouTube videos. But anyway, that being said, learn your motorcycle controls, learn where your honk is, because I'm telling you, your honk is going to be necessary. It's going to be necessary whenever you want someone's attention, especially when you're shit scared the first time you're riding a motorcycle. Learn where your indicators are. Play with all the stuff before you throw a leg over your motorcycle. Figure out, like I said, your controls, where your back brake is, which is right here, where your front brakes are, which is right here. Also understanding that 80% of the force is in the front, 20% of the braking force is in the rear, and you're supposed to be mostly using the front brakes 80% of the time. That's why you have 20% in the rear. These are all things that we break down inside my How to Ride series. Besides that, wear the proper gear. Do not, and I mean do not, throw a leg over your motorcycle unless you're wearing a proper helmet. You spent $10,000 on a brand new Kawasaki ZX6R. Okay, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. You can't wait to throw a leg over it, but wear a helmet. Wear the proper gear, okay? Buy your gear. Make sure it's good stuff. Buy yourself a pair of riding jeans. Buy yourself a pair of riding boots. Make sure that you have riding gloves on, okay? Do not be a squid. A squid is anybody who pretty much doesn't wear anything and then they hurt themselves, and then you know what? In the first month that they started riding, that's going to be their last month too. So don't be a squid. Wear your proper gear before you throw a leg over your motorcycle. And in fact, buy your gear before you buy your motorcycle. Next, when you're going to pick up your motorcycle, plan your route straight back home. You're not going to go hang out with your friends. You're not going to go join a group ride. You're not going to go do some canyon run or something exciting that you have planned ahead of time. Your job is point A to point B, meaning you're going from the dealer or the private party directly back home. This should be anywhere between maximum of like 20 miles. It shouldn't be more than that because you don't want your first ride to be more than a half hour long. You want to get straight back home, and then the next day, after you watch a couple more videos, get yourself familiar with the controls and all that other stuff, that's when you can take your second ride. But not immediately. The goal is to come back home in one piece.
3 hours later.
What a beautiful summer day to ride. And I know you're itching to get out there. I know it, because I was in your shoes. Sometime around 2017, I believe. 2017, 2018. It's been a while, I forgot. I moved to San Diego. And then a year later, I was like, damn, the weather's gorgeous out here. I'm gonna get my motorcycle license. And I did. But guess what? I was dumb. I did know better. Now you see, today we live in a much better time than 2017. Today we got loads and loads of YouTubers. Now I've become one myself, teaching other riders the mistakes they can avoid because I made them myself. And so I didn't get my license first. I got my motorcycle first. Bad idea. Don't do it. At least get your learner's permit. Once you get your learner's permit, then you can get your first bike. Not the other way around. A lot of people just buy a bike because in the United States, you can do that. You can go to a private party, hand over a couple $1,000s. Next thing you know, you got yourself a crotch rocket that'll do 200 miles an hour. Oh man, what I love about the United States, you can do crazy stuff like that because of freedom, but doesn't always mean that it's the right thing to do. Because those 200 mile per hour motorcycles who are close enough, you can get a heap of trouble really quickly. Because people, believe it or not, have more ego than they have brains. And I'm not saying that's you, but usually people who buy a liter bike as their first bike, 100% guaranteed, they have more ego than brains. And if that's you, sorry, not sorry. I'm just trying to protect my boys, okay? Just trying to make sure everybody enjoys this hobby and does it for an entire lifetime as opposed to quick fun. And that's exactly what this video is about. To enjoy this hobby and to make it a lifetime of a hobby. And not something that's temporary where you hurt yourself and then you're like, motorcycling is not for me, man. It's too dangerous. Well, of course it's dangerous. If you're going to be reckless from day one, obviously it's going to be dangerous. But riding a motorcycle is all about being methodical, okay? Those motorcycles requires patience, requires practice, requires continuous education. Meaning always educating yourself, always learning, okay? But anyway, got my motorcycle before I got my license. I ended up dropping that motorcycle. I got into my first accident. Not dropping it once, dropping it multiple times. And for the exact reason that I told you, which is when you're coming to a stop, whether it's at a red light or a stop sign, make sure that your handlebar is straight if you're using your front brakes. If you're using your rear brakes, chances are that won't happen because the energy transfer is going to be different from the rear to the front. But 100% of the time, if you're braking abruptly and your wheel is slightly turned, all that force is going to go to the front, and that's how you're going to drop your bike in the beginning. After a while, riding for, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, you'll slowly get the hang of it after dropping your bike a few times and getting pissed off. You'll start learning the hard way. But if you take my suggestion from day one, it'll never happen to you, or it might happen to you a lot less. But anyway, the first time I rode my motorcycle, I was shit scared. 50 miles an hour for me felt like 80 miles an hour because my entire life I've always driven a car. And so when you're in a car, you got a protective shell over you, you got airbags, you got music playing from your radio, and you got a seatbelt on. You're pretty much cocooned, right? Away from all the bad elements. So getting on a motorcycle for the first time, yeah, I was shit scared. 50 miles an hour felt like 70. 70 miles an hour felt like I was doing 120. I remember this exact road, which I've taken a million times, doing 54 miles an hour right now. But whenever I did it, it felt like 80 miles an hour. And it was mostly because my throttle input wasn't smooth. My braking wasn't smooth. I kept dropping my motorcycle. So when you're riding for the first time, make sure that your throttle input is smooth. Make sure that you're not jerky, okay? Like what I'm doing right now. You see what I'm doing right now? Don't be like that. Make sure your throttle input is smooth and make sure you let go of it smoothly. Make sure that you practice at home how to shift up and how to shift down in gears. Now, if you buy a motorcycle that has a quick up and down shifter, then you probably already know that the only time you're going to use the clutch is whenever you shift up in a gear. And then once you get rolling and you're doing more than 15-20 miles an hour, you don't have to use the clutch again unless you're coming to a direct stop, meaning that there's a red light coming up like right now. You see what I just did? I just shifted down into first gear. Well, it's no longer a red light, but assuming it would be, this is exactly what you would be doing. And so practicing all of these things before you get your first bike, which is why I suggested that you have your license first. Practice. Make sure you take a beginner course. Like, I'm talking about a physical course. I'm not talking about an online course. Especially YouTube. If you're only learning how to ride a motorcycle on YouTube and you've never taken a physical course before, you are not the right person to ride a motorcycle. I do not suggest you throw a leg over a motorcycle. Take a physical course. Your state has a course that you can take. Look up your state's physical course. It's probably a couple $100. It's the best money you'll ever spend. That's the course that's actually going to help you get your motorcycle license as well. When you take that course, they're going to sign off that you did well or whatever. That's how I got my license. That's how most people get their licenses. And that's what I suggest that you do. Take a course. And then, I'm telling you this because I know this, you're going to forget 90% of everything that you learned in that course. But the 10% of it that you retain are going to be useful for keeping you alive on the road once you've taken the class. And then once you get your first bike, those things will be very, very useful to you. Because, you know, you're not going to retain everything. There's just way too many people in that class, and they're not going to give you the time and attention that you need. So their time and attention is going to be focused on a lot of people. But basic motorcycle controls, turn signals, how to start, how to stop, how to do emergency braking, these are all prerequisites to getting your first motorcycle, and you should know this before you actually throw a leg over your motorcycle. So don't go to YouTube. Don't just like watch one of my videos and be like, all right, I know how to ride now. I'm gonna go ahead and buy my first bike because I watched PetroHead's videos. Now I'm confident I can do it on my own. Bad idea. Take a physical course. Learn from an expert, not from a YouTuber. Okay? I'm talking about me. If you watch one of my videos, I really, really appreciate it. But do not watch one of my videos if you don't know how to ride and then immediately go buy a motorcycle and then take it home. That's not what you should be doing with my videos. Watch my video after you take a physical course. Once you take a physical course, my videos are freaking gold. At that point, my videos will reinforce every single thing that you learned. And then, whenever you purchase my motorcycle mastery course, if that's what you want to do, holy shit, you'll be a rock star on the street as well as on the track. Because you've done the prerequisite of actually doing a physical course, as opposed to just watching a YouTube video, buying your first motorcycle, getting in your first accident, and then, motorcycle is too dangerous. My family told me I should have listened to them. Or, worst case scenario, your family members turn to you and says, I told you you shouldn't have bought a motorcycle. Now look what happened. We don't want to get to that point, my friends. Because it'll crush your ego, and at the same time, it'll actually stop you from doing something that is really, really amazing. And it's a really, really great experience, not only spiritually, but mentally as well. Because I freaking love riding, man. I don't think I could ever stop riding. But the only way to continue riding for life is to do things in a proper way, meaning methodical, step by step, not going from zero to hero overnight. That's not how you do things. I made a video about the first 3 months of most riders and what typically happens. And do you know what happens in the first 3 months of riding a motorcycle for most people? These are statistics, recorded statistics by the Highway Safety Institute something. I forgot what it was. I made the video a long time ago. But maybe I'll link it down below in the description section, so go check it out down below. But anyway, the statistic is that within the first 3 months of getting the learner's permit or the license, the motorcyclist gets into their first accident. Don't let that be you. And most of the time, the reason why that happens is because they're uneducated. They didn't watch this video. They didn't take the suggestions that I made. They made dumb mistakes. They bought a leader bike. They bought a 600. I don't know what they bought. They listened to their friends, not an expert. They bought their motorcycle. Immediately, they started riding it for hours and hours. They didn't bring it back home immediately. They didn't do things in a methodical way, in a slow way, in a way where they can retain the most information. Practice, and then put into practice what they learned. they didn't do all those things. And obviously, motorcycles are not something that, you know, it's like a car. You get your driver's license, and then, you know, you go back and forth to work. Motorcycles are recreational vehicles. You're obviously, from day one, you're going to want to push yourself. You're going to want to push your motorcycle. You're going to want to have more fun with it. And the more fun you have, the more dopamine is released from your brain into your brain receptors. And so that's why people get so bored of 300s and 400s, and everybody's like, nah, don't buy that motorcycle, man, you're gonna get bored of it easily. You know why? Because they were the ones that bought the 300s and the 400s and the 500s, and you know what, they pushed themselves and their motorcycles to the limit, and then they got bored of it quickly because they used the entire capacity of their motorcycles, probably in a very, very short period of time. And you know what? They probably got into accidents. I see it all the time. When I go to the canyons, I don't do it because I want to be a squid on the street. I just do it because it's a different environment for me. I'm always riding by the coast, and I just like to change scenery around every now and then. But I always see young kids in their 20s. Most of them aren't even wearing gear. And there's always one or two people with crashed up bikes, and then everyone circling them. And that kid, and it's always someone in their early 20s, or someone in their mid 20s or early 30s. It's always the same type of people, man. And that's what I'm trying to save you from. I'm trying to save you from being that guy or that girl. Don't be that guy or that girl. Do things the methodical way. Do things the safe way. And you know what? You're going to enjoy this hobby for the rest of your life.